Okay, so I'm going to walk you through this card building activity. So what you're going to be doing here is like a puzzle. So on the first slide, just put your name in the little box on here. Then on the next slide, you need to decide which of these two cards that you need to add to this on here. So magnesium is 2+, but chlorine is only -. So I want you to think about whether you'd add an Mg or Cl card, and you're going to do that in the next one. Okay, so what I have to decide here is, do I want to drag? So again, to drag, I'm on my Mac, so I'm going to click and then pull it down here. So magnesium or chlorine. Well, look at here and decide if you need more positive or more negative. So magnesium's positive, there's more positives. So you're always going to want to add the opposite card in there. If there's too much positive, you need to balance that with the negative. So I'd go ahead and put this in, and again, sometimes when these pieces move or different slides or different sides, so you want to make sure that you adjust those on there. So that's what you're going to do here then. So see how my puzzle is a rectangle, and if you added up this charge, 2 positives and 2 negatives, so 2 positives and 2 negatives, they're going to add up to 0. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to count the cards for each one, and then I'm going to make those the subscripts. So if you look at our last slide on here, we used 1 Mg and 2 Cls on here. So that's what you type in here, so 1 Mg and 2 Cls. And then you're going to type the formula in here, so just double click in the box. So you're going to type the symbol. Remember, if it's 2 letters, the first one's big, the second one is small. Mg, we only use 1, so we're not going to write the 1. But for chlorine, we're going to write the Cl, and then we're going to write a 2. But you can tell that doesn't look like a formula, what we normally do. So I'm going to highlight this here. Maybe just the 2. Goodness, it's late. And this is not cooperating with me today. Okay, so what you do when you get what you want highlighted in here, which in my case is just the 2. If it's being troublesome like this, you might want to move it to the side and then drag it back later. That's what I'm going to do. So I highlighted that 2, and look for this button up here. It's X with the little 2. So I'm going to do that, and I do want you to write this way, get used to making subscripts. And then since I pulled it over to make that work better, we'll have that. So we'll see in here that this is MgCl2. All right, so then go ahead and go into the next slide. Now we're going to name it. So when I look at the last slide that we just had on here, we saw that we had Mg, and that said magnesium on it. And the second one on there, it said Cl- and it said chloride. So that compound I just built was named magnesium chloride. So for this one, look on the first one. So this is called aluminum, and the second one is iodide. So over here, I'm going to double click in this box, and then I would just type out what I made here. It doesn't matter how many of each card you use in here. There's only one correct way to solve this puzzle. So that's what we're going to do here. And then I would do the same thing here. So Al only has 1, but I has 3. And again, it might be useful in the beginning because it's hard to highlight in these sometimes. It's just going to move that to the side. We're going to highlight it, and then I'm going to make it small. Okay, and then I'm going to go back over here and get rid of those extra little spaces. Okay, so I'd write this as Al(I3), so that's aluminum iodide. So just like you've heard NaCl, sodium chloride, any ionic compound just has the name of a first ion. If there's only 2 symbols in it, which all of these I've given you today have, you're going to see that it switches to IDE. All right, so you're going to build 7 molecules. 5 I've given to you what they are. And 2 of them you're going to create your own from pieces. Just don't repeat ones, because if you do one we already did, it's not going to count. Okay, so on these you're just going to drag them down here. So you start off with 1 of each. And you'll notice on this one that this one fits right away, so that just means you're done. So sometimes it's easy, 2 positive and 2 negative, just 0 on that. So then you would write how many you have of each. Remember, if it's only 1 of each, you don't put a subscript. And then you'll name this with the first ion and then the second ion. On the ones you're going to need to add more than one of on here, you're going to need to copy those. So like when I go in this one here, I'm going to add my lithium, but I'm going to see here that I need more one of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. On my Mac, I'm going to hit Command C. If you have another Windows machine, it's going to be Control C. You might be able to right click and do it, just depends what you have. And then I'm going to do Command V to paste it. And then I'm going to put it in there. And if I need to keep going, I'm going to keep going. So again, on a Mac, it's Command C. So again, Command is with this little kind of four-sided loopy number. So if you hit that, and again, you need to hold that down and then hit C to do that way. And then same thing, use the same button, hold it down, and then hit B to paste it. Okay, so again, at the end, you are going to be using cards of your choice. If you scroll down to the end, you'll see on here, there's a whole bunch to pick from. So I just pick which ones I see, and I can either drag them over or copy and paste. Either one's fine. Okay, and then pick something from the negative cards. You can only pick one of each type of cards, otherwise it won't come out to be a real compound on here. The first pairing can be easy if you want. It could be something that's one card of one and one card of the other. So the cards would just have to be the same size for that to be. And the second one needs to use at least 3 cards. So it might be 2 of the positive and 1 of the negative. It might be, 1 of the positive and 3 of the negatives. Or you might use both, like a 2 and 3 ratio or something like that. All right, if you have any questions, then go ahead and send me a message. This should just be building a puzzle. It shouldn't be bad at all. All right, have a great rest of the weekend. Another week of e-learning done. Don't forget, everything is due Monday by noon. Bye.